Dear friends, welcome you all. Our second official Zoom meeting, ILLC, launched on May, and we have been connecting a second Zoom meeting. First one we had with Gayatri, which is talking about technically on digital marketing, another thing. Today we going to have one more speaker, on my wonderful friend Valentina, going to talk about motivational talk, and we're going to see what are the things. So today, what is the itinerary we have? So we will see the itinerary today. Just introduction about what ILLC about it. Then I just introduction of our speaker Valentina, and Valentina take over the program, and she run the program with a topic. Then end of the program we will have a Q&A. All your questions you can be in drop it in your chat box, so she can address the question along in the end of the program. Then we will be thanking and we will be closing the program. This is our itinerary of the meeting today. So just want to share you what is ILLC. We just started for that. We just officially launched on 5th of May this particular format for educating all the, not only the insurance member, we just want to teach them in a different participation into sales, marketing, and people on the entrepreneurs and other things. So on a different training models and that. So we provided online training, sales skills, expert webinar, social media training and boost your business, email and e-flyer training, management skills, time management, and productive work from home training also. This is about us, and today our program will be connected for expert webinar. Now we will see our speaker, Valentina. She is an international motivation speaker, author, and she's a high-performance executive and business coach from Greece. Valentina, can you say hi to everyone?
Hello, everyone, officially.
So, about Valentina, so I just have to be minimized. I say international. Valentina is the international motivation speaker and TED speaker, self-help book author, and mindset high-perform executive and business coach. And she has a 15 years experience in business administration, executive specialist in designing, organizing, procurement, office management, HR management, motivation, development, and training. She have a wide experience sharing his administration position in small business up to the executive level in multinational companies. So she started from the down. Now it'll be in she started doing it all in a bigger way. Alenda studied in business administration in Newport University of California and all the master degrees in human resource management city in Unit College. And additionally, she studies success convention coach in express coaching schools in Canada and strategic innovation coaching in Robin Madison Schools of Tony Robinson in the USA. She has over 9 years experience in coaching, having business person, C-level executive worldwide for companies such as Microsoft, Novartis, Coca-Cola, Burton, Paramedics, etc. So achieve their corporate and professional goals by changing their minds and behavior after work 15 years executing multinational companies. Her most successful book now already it's available all over the world. Today we're going to talk about our the success mind game. Going to be talk about those things today about motivationally to all our members. I'm thankful for ILC because she's going to talk about our company about this book. So she's provide in-personal training, Skype individuals. She travel world, provides seminars, workshop, give motivation speeches also. So, behalf of ILC, I'm warm welcome Valentina to give presentation to this particular program to all our members around the world. And we welcome you, Valentina, with a summarize or your welcome messages. So over to Valentina. Have a wonderful program. Yeah, I will see you in the end of the program. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me now share my screen. Okay. Okay. Can you see the screen with my PowerPoint right now?
Yeah, I see the screen. Yeah.
Okay. So as Sakthi said, the topic of today is success is a mind game, even in challenging times like the ones we are going through right now. And actually, today's topic is based on my book, which is called Success is a Mind Game, How to Achieve Your Business and Professional Goals by Changing Not Only Your Own Mindset and Behavior, but also your team's, which is available on Amazon. You can buy it in hard copy or ebook. And it's funny seeing that after some years, I'm able to talk about success and how this is related to the mindset we have. Because some years ago, actually, since I was a little girl, I have always connected successful outcomes with destiny, with luck, with external environment, because this is the way I grew up. This is the way my family used to see things. So this is what I got from them. This is what I inherited from them. And I really have a difficult story regarding how my family and the neighborhood and the little city I grew up here in Greece, it's a heavy phrase to say, but kind of broke my wings when I wanted to fly and have bigger goals and dreams, because they always have those small dreams that can, from the first sight, seem possible to implement. And you can find out more about that if you watch my TEDx talk, which is called Your Vehicle to Success, How to Make Your Dream Possible. But to cut the story short, what I want to say is that I used to connect all the results I got in my life. And if we focus on my career, my professional results, with the external factors. So when I didn't achieve something, it was always something missing. It was something else to blame. It was my bad fortune to blame. And when I achieved something, then I thought that this had to do with just being lucky during this period. Of course, most of the times I carried this negative mindset up to the point that I really got tired with it. And I told myself, you know, Valentina, now it is time to stop and think for a bit. You are the same person. You cannot blame only your destiny. You cannot blame only the external environment for what happens to you. You must have been doing something that you contribute to those results. So this is when I realized that everything had to do about me and about the way I used to see things. You see, in good times, when I had the tools I needed, when I had the resources I needed, there were failures I brought in my way. I sabotaged myself. And in difficult, in challenging times, I achieved remarkable things that actually, when I talked about those things, when I talked about those goals before going after them with my relatives, my friends, everybody told me that I was crazy. And these things cannot happen because you don't have this, you don't have that. You just daydreaming. This is not possible. But I was so stubborn. I was so determined to succeed, no matter what the difficulties were. So I realized that what made the difference was just the different way of thinking I had from times to times. This is how I started consciously controlling my own thoughts and put them into an order and mold them in a way that would actually act for my benefit, and they would be my friends, not my enemies anymore. Because I don't know if you feel me, if you empathize with me, but keep thinking all the time in a negative way and in an pessimistic way, it's very tiring doing this in your whole life, and it's very demotivating. So I said, okay, since I do this often subconsciously, I want to take control of my thoughts, I want to take control of my mindset, I want to take control of my actions and my behavior consciously, and understand what I do wrong that actually doesn't help me and what I do right, and focus more on doing that. This is how I started doing for myself, and this is when I actually changed my career's destiny and my personal life destiny. But let's focus on the professional part. And since I thought that it works for me, and I started also implementing these steps with my customers, then I thought that it would be very helpful for people who also got to the point that they get tired with the way they think and they are honest with themselves, to help them, to give them a guide on what are those important things, what are those important parts of our mindset that we need to focus and change. So today we are going to speak about those 9 points, about those 9 steps that if you focus on, you will succeed no matter what the external circumstances. Because I know, and you know very well, that even in good times, you had always things to complain about, and you had excuses that prevented you from reaching success. So it's not about challenging times, it's not about good times. Everything has to do with how you think about the circumstances, how you think about yourself, and what you want to do with your life. So let's start with the first step, and one of the most important steps actually. And this step has to do with defining exactly what you want and what your vision is. And nowadays, words like vision, goal, plan, etc., have become a bit of buzzwords. Everybody uses them. They are pretty trendy, but actually they are very important, and especially the word vision. And okay, let's simplify that. I won't say vision. I just say that you need to answer for yourself the simple question: what do you want to do? Even in this time of crisis, be specific. Okay, there are problems, there are difficulties, there are challenges. You might have lost things that you have built with putting so much effort, but now you're here. The first thing you need to define and to clarify is, what do you want to do with your career? What do you want to do with your professional life, with your business? Exactly. Most of us have a cloudy idea about who we want to be as business persons. But this doesn't give you the certainty, doesn't give you the confidence to know where to walk towards. Because as the fairy tale Alice in Wonderland states, that if you don't know exactly where you want to go, if you don't know where your destination is, then every road seems to be the right one, and every road seems to be the wrong one. This is why it is important, first of all, to clarify what you want to do with yourself, who you want to be as a business person, what kind of business you want to have. This will give you the confidence. This will be your guide. This will help you make choices. And of course, this will give your mind a specific picture so that it finds the goals that will get you where you want to go. It will help you find those goals that will be aligned with your own vision. This is why this is very important. So the first thing you need to do is to define exactly what you want. Be really specific. And as our mind, as our brain works kind of a radar, and it's a pretty good servant to what we want and to where we focus on, if you focus exactly on your destination, your brain will start gathering all those information, gathering all those tools that will help you get there. So start, first of all, from defining really clearly what you want to achieve. What is your ultimate vision? Who you want to be as a business person? And don't make it like I used to make it when I wanted to take paper and pen and write down my vision. I don't know why, but there was a strange power stopping me. And I will tell you later why this power stopped me. So I left aside the paper and the pen, and I used to say, okay, I have the idea in my mind. I know approximately up and above what I want. No, up and above approximately is not good. It's not helpful. Write specifically down what you want to achieve. There's someone with open microphone, I think.
Iya lah, itu ya. One. Yes.
Can we mute that, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are showing the PPT now?
Yes, you don't see that?
Yeah, it's not coming yet actually.
Uh-huh. Sorry.
Yeah, now it's going to see. Yeah.
Okay. Step number 2. Clarify why you want what you want. Most of the times, could you please close your microphone?
Not able to hear properly.
Clarify why you want what you want. So most of people, they are driven by an autopilot. They are going around all day being active, but if you stop them and ask them why you do what you do, they don't really know, or they connect it with a really shallow reason. For example, okay, if I have to do a job, this is what I do. It's just a job. But this is not a way for you to achieve the goals you say you desire, because first of all, you need to clarify why you want to achieve the goals you want to achieve, as you state. So if there is no deeper reason within you that makes your heart sing from excitement, then probably you will see that as an obligation. If you don't connect your want with a bigger why, you will always see this as a must. I must do this, but this is not motivating. This is not something that will actually make you stay committed, because this is what we need in challenging times. It takes determination. It takes consistency. It takes resilience. In order to elicit all these powers from within, you need to fuel them up with a big why. Otherwise, with the first challenge, with the first difficulty, you will find a reason to give up. And don't tell me as a reason, because I want, for example, more money. Okay, this is a means. This is not a deep reason. You want the money, but what do you want to do with the money? What do you want to feel if you possess more money? What is it? Is it safety for you and your family? Is it, for example, a sense of significance? Is it for you money a way to develop yourself, to gain more knowledge, to travel around the world? So find your own why and make sure that this is your own why. It's not your someone else's why or someone else's goal or someone else's want. We see many times that people around us tell us what would be good for us to achieve, what would be good for us to pursue. Or we create role models. We see someone and we say, if, for example, he is successful, then in order for me to be successful, I need to want the same things he or she does. But this is not it, because success is something unique and it's something different for each one of us. So you need to define your own success, what success looks like to you, and to realize why this kind of success is important to you, and own it, to be your own want, to be your own desire. And also, it's very important when you set goals, and this is also important during difficult times, because this is when we have a lower resistance level. This is easier for us to give up when we are facing challenges, but this is when it's very essential for you to know your own values. What are the values that drive you in life? What you feel important to exist in your life, or sometimes what you feel it's important for you not to exist in your life? What are those things? What are those terms that guide you in your profession, in your business? So become aware of those important things, of your why you want to do the profession you do and not something else, why you want to run your business, why you want to serve as a professional to the community. And then make sure that your goals and the way you choose to pursue your goals are aligned with your values. Don't choose means that fit other people. Choose the means and the ways that fit your own personality, your authentic self, your own values, because this is the only way you will be able to support them in the long run. This is the only way you will get the strength you need, especially during these times, during this uncertainty we are facing, to stay there, to stay strong, to keep working hard, to keep making dreams and visualizing how your business will develop tomorrow. To know that if now, even though it's difficult, even though people are skeptic to make purchases or to enter into contracts, probably because this COVID-19 period is not over yet. We don't know what the next phase is, and people are a bit skeptical about what to buy, what not to buy. And this is a point that people get disappointed and say, oh, this is it. Now everything is ruined. This is a disaster for my business. No, if you do something you really love and it matters to you, and you do it in a way that makes you feel good with your authentic self, you go with your values, then you find the power to stay there and fight, and not only survive, but also thrive. And believe me, this happens because this is a phase where, let's say, it comes to the surface who does something just because, and who does something out of passion, knowing that this is his or her true mission. And if you belong in the second category, then you will have a competitive advantage, focusing on what you do and do it with passion and knowing why you do it. As soon as you define what you want and why you want it, then the next logic step, we would say, is to see how you will get there. What do you need to do to get there? Apart from the typical technical part that you need to have a plan, then you need to build a plan with the steps you need to walk in order to get to the point you desire. I would see this from another perspective. I will talk to you in this point about, let's say, a magic question that people who succeed in their life do, in comparison to those people who give up easily or who fail more. This question, which is the core question for your success, is the little word how, accompanied, of course, by some other words. Most of the people, and I remember my father doing this, used as their main question the question why. And I'm going to explain to you how. So, you see, when someone has a big desire to achieve a goal, at first, he's very enthusiastic about, he's excited about it, he's really motivated about it. But then, I wouldn't say the logic, but this is how people think that it is. So the logic comes and people start finding all the reasons why they are not able to do what they desire to do. So why can't I achieve this goal? Why can I make it happen? And as I told you before, our mind is a great servant. So if we give this question to our mind to answer, our mind starts searching for the right answers. So our mind starts focusing on all the problems and the obstacles we are going to find in the way, or focuses on all the resources that we lack. So you cannot do this because you don't have money, you don't have connections, you don't have the tools, you don't have the knowledge. You can't do this because this is a difficult period. Don't you see what's going on the world? So keep giving these answers, we get disappointed, we get demotivated. We see this as a event and we say, okay, if there are so many obstacles, if there are so many problems, then there is no way for me to do that. And we stop there.
Valentina,
Yes?
the slide stuck over there actually. It's with a mission only. The slide was showing you as only the step near one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is where we get stuck. This is where we get disappointed. When we start asking ourselves why this is not possible for me to achieve it. But if we change the question, even if at the beginning it seems impossible or difficult, and we change the question from why I can do this into how I can do this, then our brain starts again working on the question of this new question and starts searching for ways, start searching for resources, start searches for tools to help us go where we want to go. And if you read the book The Secret or you watch the documentary, actually, when the main point of saying you attract what you think about is this, is how our brain works. If you focus on finding the ways to get where you want to go, this is where you will find. But if you focus on the obstacles and on why this is not possible to happen, then you will only find the obstacles and the dead ends in front of you. So change the question. Use the question how. Even if it's something seems difficult, ask, okay, this is difficult, but how can I overcome this obstacle? How can I do it? How can I get these resources that I miss? And something else that's very important, when you ask this question, how, focus on the things you already possess and see how you can use them in the best way. Because if you focus on what you don't possess already, it's like being hungry and you focus on ingredients that you don't possess at home, and it's late, you cannot go out, and you say, I'm hungry, but I wish I had some pasta, I wish I had, but you don't have them in house. So what is going to happen? You are going to starve. But if you say, I'm hungry, and you open your cupboards, and there you find some ingredients, and you say, I have this, I have, what can I do with them? How can I combine them in order to make a tasty dish? Then you will achieve your goal. You will have something great to eat. So focus on the things you already possess and not on the things you don't possess and see them as an obstacle, start making excuses, or even start feeling self-pity and saying, oh, you see, the others have so many, and the problem is that I don't move forward, I don't do this, I don't do that because I don't have anything, and you start feeling pity for yourself. These things are not helpful. Focus on what you have, see how you can use them, and they will help you get to the next level. And there you will possess again more things and more materials from the new position you bring yourself and your business in. And then again, with these new factors, with these new resources, how can I use them? What can I do with them? And again and again and again. And this is how you progress. The next step. Most of the times we say, okay, I thought about this, this is what I want, this is why I want it, okay, this is how I will do it. But when we are about to get into action, then we stop. But actually, this is the difference between dreams and goals, because dreams remain on your pillow, on your paper where you write down your plans, in your laptop, in your imagination, but goals become reality because you take action. And even if you make a good written plan, if you have taken the decision and you say, I am ready to do that, unless you take the first steps, that doesn't count. I'm sorry to say that, but that's not enough. Plans and just the decision are not enough. You need to make the first step. And it's in our human nature that when we are about to do something, even though we seem to be really excited about that, really enthusiastic about that, our mind starts overthinking about this goal. Again and again and again, the idea turns around in our mind, and we tend to make it something huge, something bigger than it is, but in a negative way. So our enthusiasm starts to fall down, and the fear comes up, and it's camouflaged in various excuses, and we start again to say why we cannot do what we want to do. We start focusing again on the obstacles we will find in our ways and on the limitations. Take, for example, the situation now with the lockdown. There are people who focused only on the limitations, on the things we couldn't do during the lockdown, or even on the things they have missed and they have built before the lockdown. So they got stuck and they said, now it's very difficult for me to move forward. What can I do in this situation? I can't do that. There are so many restrictions, so many limitations. But there are other people who saw opportunities in there, and they said, okay, this is, let's say, a new environment for me. What are the new opportunities in here that I can take advantage of? Or even, what are the things that I can still do even though I'm locked down in my house? What can I still do? So they started making new plans, adjusted to the new conditions in order to keep them business running and help it survive during this period. And they didn't got stuck in the idea that there are many limitations and this is how I used to do things and now I can't do them. Okay, this is a new situation. So take a step, do something. Only action is the way to bring results. Inaction doesn't bring anything, and sometimes it gets us backwards instead of leaving us at the same place. But why, since we say we want to do something for our business, to keep it alive, to move it forward, to even make it successful, why then we don't do anything and we get stuck before we even take the first step? Because we have fears camouflaged under various excuses. What fears could that be? The fear of failure. We are afraid that if we do something in this environment, we are going to fail, and maybe we lose even some things that we consider them to be right now secure, that we have secured them. So we are afraid to make this new step. And this is a new environment and we don't exactly know what to do in there. Or we might even fear that we are going to succeed if we take a step, and then what are we going to do there? We don't know. So it's a new situation. Maybe we have new obligations. Are we going to be able to keep up with the new standards? Or we are afraid the change. We get comfortable in feeling sorry for ourselves, in feeling sorry for our business, or we are not at all satisfied with what happens in our business and in our career, but we kind of get used to complaining and crying over spilled milk. So it's easier for us to stay without doing anything and just complaining and seeing the disaster than getting out of there and trying something new. This is why we see the beginning as something huge that we cannot do. This is why it's like we have opened the door from our house, we have one step in front, but we feel it stuck, we cannot move it to go out of the house. This is how it feels. For me, a good way, a simple method to get unstuck in these situations is not to see the whole journey but just the first milestone, as if you want to travel from India, let's say, to the States. Don't think about the whole journey till making it to the state. Okay, you have made the plan, you know what you need to do, but start from the beginning. For example, what would be the first step? Check the flights or book a room in a hotel. Okay, start from there. As soon as you have done that, then focus on the next step. Or if you want to climb up a mountain, don't look at the summits and say, oh my God, I will never get up there. This is too much for me. Focus on the first step. Make it easier for you. Don't feed your excuses of not doing this. Feed your desire to do this. And how? By making it easier for you. By saying, I can make it till here, and when I get there, then I will see how I will get to the next step. So don't look at the top of the mountain. Don't look at the final point of your destination. Okay, you know where you want to go, but don't make it that big in your head. Oh, I have to do so many things and this is impossible for me. As Robin Sharma says, everything that is now easy for you was once hard in the beginning. How many times in your life, back in the past, you thought that something was impossible for you to do? And then you have done that. And some years after that, you take a thought and you say, look, that was easier than I thought back then. I did it and I was really frightened to do it. And you know what? It was nothing. I'm pretty sure you have this experience too in your life. So this is how it is. Yes, every beginning is difficult, but not as difficult as you want your mind to believe. So make it easier for you. Break it down into smaller steps. Step number 5.
Valentina, some of them missed step 2 of PPT actually. So can you able to step 2? Step 2.
Step
some
2.
of them, yeah, step 2 they are not seeing it yet. Yeah.
I would say here that I can give you also the presentation, and
Okay.
we can send it per email to all the participants. So
Okay.
not to worry about, and also
Sure.
the webinar.
Okay.
So the step number 2 had to do with clarify why you want what you want. So find your real why behind it and make sure that the way you choose to go after that is aligned with your values. And we return back to step number 5, which has to do with taking ownership of your choices. You see, one of the greatest gifts we have in this life is choices. And although in difficult times, we feel that sometimes we have no choices, that we have reached to a dead end and there are no options. If we take some time and we let this disappointment get away, we will see that we always have options. And this is something that we never should forget. And I'm telling you, because I've reached some points in my life where I got trapped also in situations that they weren't good for me. They didn't make me happy. I was miserable. I made a choice, a professional choice to enter a company in which I wasn't happy about. And then I thought that this was the end of the world. And apart from that, I wanted to feed my ego that I made the choice at the beginning, and now I need to keep supporting it. So another advice, please remember that even if you make a choice and in practice you see that this choice is not serving you the way you thought it is, remember that you always have the choice to change the choice. You always have this option. Don't let yourself get trapped by the idea that, okay, I've made this decision and I need to support it. Yes, up to a level, you see how it goes, but when you see that, okay, it was a path that actually didn't lead you where you thought it would, this is the time for you to reassess it and not to get trapped in the idea that, okay, since I've made this choice, I need to support it to the end. Don't do that, please. Choices are power. Remember that too. So don't give it over to someone else so that you don't take the responsibility of the result that we are going to talk about it a bit later. Make as many choices as you can every day for your business and for your career. Don't skip making choices, even small choices, so that you make it a habit. Yes, give other people you work with the opportunity, your team, your business partners, to make also choices in their field of profession and job position, but don't skip your own part of making choices, and don't give this power over to someone else, especially in those hard times that we have the tendency to blame someone else and to say that I can't do anything, I'm waiting from the government, I'm waiting for someone else to give me a solution. Remember, you always have choices, and see which choices are within your control to make. Another choice you need to do daily is choosing your thoughts. 95% of the 70,000 thoughts we make every day are the same. And you know what? Those same thoughts, most of the times, are negative thoughts. Thoughts we say about ourselves or about the situation we are living in that demotivate us, sometimes even belittle us. How easily we drop out of our mouth when we do a mistake. Oh, I'm silly, I'm stupid, I'm that, I'm this. Or every day, oh, I'm not going to make it, I'm not able to do that, I'm not good enough, I'm not that, I'm not. And we keep rethinking the same and the same and the same things. So 95% of the thoughts we make every day are the same. Why not change them? Why not replacing them with thoughts that will enable us to do more things, with thoughts that will make us feel more confident and more powerful, with thoughts that have to do with things that we are able to do, with things that have to do with our strengths, with things that have to do with opportunities we see in our environment, and above all, with thoughts that have to do with being grateful about what we already have, something that we often neglect in our daily life. Even for our work, all the time we see the bad things, but we are not grateful for the good ones. And even small things, like, for example, making a customer happy, hearing a thank you from someone that you made his day. You should be grateful for that, because you did something for someone that he really appreciated, that you helped a person. Don't belittle that and say, okay, so what, I'm just doing my job. No, it's very nice, it's very precious to hear a thank you, or to hear you did a good job. Don't throw that in the garbage and keep only the bad thoughts you have about yourself or about your career or your daily routine. Choose to respond instead of react in situations. And what is the difference? Respond is when I stop, I practice what we say, response flexibility. So I'm flexible. Something happens, I stop, I think about how I want to respond to that. I make a choice, and this is what I do. But react is doing something without thinking, doing something automatically, impulsively. So choose to respond instead of react. Something went wrong in your business, something went wrong with the client. Don't just react. Stop and think, okay, how do I want to respond to that? Choose how you want to see every challenge. Do you want it to see as an opportunity, or do you want it to see as an obstacle or a problem? Do you want it to see it as the end of the world, or you want it to see as a new beginning? So choose how you want to see every challenge. It's up to you to demotivate yourself by the way you are going to see the problem or the challenge, or to motivate yourself. The difficult situation is there. What will change is the way you are going to see it and to respond to it or to react to it. If you get panicked, it doesn't mean that the challenge will go away. It will stay there, but the only difference is that you are going to choose to act to it in a way that actually it's not going to be beneficial for you. Choose where you want to invest your time. Do you want to waste your time thinking about what you lost because of this situation? Or do you want to invest your time to see what you want to do from now on? Do you want to waste your time by feeling sorry for yourself? Or do you want to invest your time in building your personality, making yourself stronger through this situation? So choose how you want to invest your time. This is a very important choice we need to do daily. This is where we gain time or we lose time. This is where we utilize it in order to focus on things that matter for our success, or we waste it on focusing on things that don't matter, we don't get results, and then we complain that nothing happened. And most of the times we do very little for our success, and we say, I did everything. How many times have you heard from other people, not to mention from yourself, if we want to be honest, that we say, I did everything and still I can't succeed? And if you ask this person, if you ask yourself, so what does this everything mean? What did you do? You just mentioned one thing. And you say, I did that and it wasn't successful. So probably I need to give up. I don't have any chance. But you did only one thing. And what did you do with the rest of your time? Either you spend it thinking that things are not working, or you spend it watching Netflix, or you spend it doing something else that it actually does not contribute to your success. So choose how you invest your time in regards to your success, and be honest with that. Do you do that, or you make other choices? Step number 6, take control of your emotions. We know that actually our thoughts create emotions, and according to these emotions, we make choices and we act, or we mold our behaviors. So it's up to you. If we say that there are not so many things that there are within our control, at least controlling our emotions are within our control. No matter what the situation, You are the one who can control your emotions. Otherwise, it's like you being a TV and you have given the remote control to someone else, and this someone else is changing channels, and this means that he or she changes your emotions as well. So you give over the control of your emotions to someone else. And if you lead a team, this is how you will gain their respect. This is how you will influence them in a positive way. If they see that you have the control of your emotions, then they will trust you. Then they will feel that you are a person who, even when he doesn't know or she doesn't know what the next steps will be, like we are living in this situation now, at least having the controls of his emotions, he gets confident that we will find the way. We will observe the situation, being in a calm state, and we will find our way through. And it's true that we can't control external factors, but at least we can control the way we feel about them. We cannot stop COVID up to a point, because we have personal responsibility to keep some measurements and to use all these protection systems in order to not let the virus expand. But let's say that it wasn't our choice for it to happen. Okay, this is true, but we still have the control of our emotions and decide what we want to do with it. At the beginning of the COVID-19 crisis, many people got panicked, and they did some actions because they were afraid, trying to protect, let's say, their business. But okay, the best way to respond in this situation is to be as fast as needed, but also as observant as needed. So first, stop, observe what's happening, being calm, and decide fast. If you are in panic, you don't see what's happening around you, because you are focused only on your assumptions, on looking in the future, assuming that the best things, the worst things will happen, and you make bad decisions. So if you have the control of your emotions, you make better decisions no matter what the situations. And also, choose your battles. Don't let your emotions get affected by any negative situation. Don't watch so many news. Watch as much as you need to take the information. Don't get yourself involved with toxic people, with negative people, with people who all the time see the disaster, who see that there is no opportunity. Don't talk about your plans with people who will disappoint you or who will demotivate you and call you crazy. Are you crazy? There is a crisis happening. Nothing is moving. And you think you are going to make sales or I don't know what. So what is the alternative? Not doing anything. This is their alternative. So choose your battles regarding your emotions, where you want to be influenced and where you don't want to be influenced. And also, don't take anything personally. Even if you don't close a sale, even if something else happens in your business, even if someone shows you that he doesn't trust you, for example, or first of all, empathize with this person. Understand that maybe he has a fear, he has a worry, and take some time to realize that, to feel empathy about this person, and focus on how you can help this person with his or her worry, with his or her fear, as a professional. What can you do for them? Sometimes, yes, especially in these situations, people get also aggressive, and they find us as their own means to get mad and feel better. Don't take this personally, and don't let this emotional state become your own emotional state, because this is the way it will continue, and it won't bring any positive result. Even in your workplace, if there are people who are pretty negative and they are impolite or they don't respect you, don't take this personally. It's not about you, it's about them. And first of all, about how they think about themselves, and then how they think about the other people. So stay calm, realize that this is not about you, this is about the other person. Feel empathy, understand that something is wrong with this person, and then choose how you're going to respond in the best possible way. Step number 7, take the responsibility in your life. Don't search for victims. Don't search for people to put the blame on. Make choices. Take the responsibility of those choices and handle the results. Bad or good, it doesn't matter. Sometimes we take the risk because we don't know. Like now, we are living in an era that we haven't experienced before. If not all, many of us haven't experienced such a thing before, so we don't know. We make some estimations and we take the risk to implement some plans. Okay, and then we get the results. You take the results and you handle them. Don't, if the results are good, okay, you take the credit. But if the results are not good, don't try to put the blame on your team, on the government, on the client, or someone else. Stop and see, examine what is happening. Why did you get this result? What needs to change? What do you need to do differently? And even if you work as a team, it's not a blaming game, because this is counterproductive for your team. If you create a culture of blaming, then your people will not be able to take the initiative to do things. They will always try to cover their back and try not to get the blame for things. And this is really not good. This is not effective. This is really counterproductive. So also teach your team to take the initiative to do things, and then take the responsibility of the results. Don't search for people to blame, and also don't blame yourself. Take responsibility. This is something different. Blaming is that calling names and becoming getting up to a point that you feel again demotivated, and actually you start lacking confidence, and maybe you are afraid again to try. This is not the point. You don't want to do that. You just need to take the responsibility of something you did and see how to move forward. Step number 8, become aware and handle positively your self-talk. I believe it's not only me who does that. I talk a lot with myself. Seldom loudly, most of the times in my head. And I know that we all do that. Catch your thoughts, catch the words you use for yourself. As I said earlier, how you call yourself, what do you say about yourself? One phrase that it's being very used is, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not clever enough, I'm not capable enough, I can't, I'm incompetent, I'm stupid, I don't know what. So just take a fast check and see, how do you talk to yourself? What are the things you're saying? And the second thing that you need to do is to see how much you analyze things, because there is analysis and there is over-analysis. Over-analysis is a thief of time. See up to which point this analysis is helpful to you, and from which point and above it becomes an obstacle for you to take decisions, to take action, and puts you in a situation where you start to create imaginary negative scenarios, which actually steal your enthusiasm, steal your motivation, and again put you in a situation in which you start making excuses, because you start feeling fear that you might fail or you might succeed and you won't be able to handle the success. So up to a point that analysis does good to you, keep it. But from this point and above, that it doesn't help you in any way. If you can't do anything with what you think about, then why think about that? And if you can do something, do it. Don't overthinking. And if you can do something, but this can be done in a later time, then set it as a goal, put it down in your calendar and do it then, and stop thinking about it. So the point is to make your self-talk your ally, not your enemy again, not your saboteur. Control your thoughts, control your self-talk. Talk to yourself with confidence, not in a way that you demotivate yourself, not in a way that, again, you turn yourself to see only the obstacles, the weaknesses you have, the restrictions you have. Don't do that. And someone might say, okay, I don't have all day to start observing my self-talk, but you have all day to let yourself develop negative imaginary scenarios, right? So it's the same time, but being used in a different way. As we said before, choose where you want to invest your time on. And this is a really good choice you need to make. And last but not least, when it comes to failures, handle them positively, because failures are very valuable. They help us learn and grow, and they are not opposite to success. They are part of success. And of course, nobody starts doing something to fail, but we are not fortune tellers. We cannot predict always the results. As we said, unexpected events happen, like they happened right now, and we couldn't predict them. So we might have planned something and now it didn't turn out to be something successful and we had the failure. Okay, so what? What are we going to do with this failure? Are we going to turn it into an obstacle? Are we going to turn it into something that will become to us a story that we are going to tell from now on for ourselves, that we are losers, so we won't make an attempt to go after, to pursue any other goal? Or are we going to turn this into a valuable learning and move forward? Closing this presentation, I would like to say that the most important thing is, before you start focusing on other elements for your success, the first thing you need to focus on is turning your mindset into your ally. Because believe me, no matter how good plan you have, no matter how many resources, support, and good external environment you have, if what you have in here is not your ally, but it's your enemy, it will always going to sabotage you. So first, start from within and then work on what's outside yourself. Thank you. If you're interested in finding more about the work I do, you can always visit my website, valentinakordi.com. And I will be pleased to help you with any further questions regarding the work I do. So I think it's time we move to the Q&A, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken. Okay, let's see.
Can you reshare the first and second slides, please?
Excuse me?
Can you reshare the first and second slide,
First and second slide.
please?
I think I can.
Thank you so much.
Step number 1, define exactly what you want and what your vision is.
No, not this one. Before this one.
This?
Yeah, before the first two slides. Yes.
They are just a cover.
Ah. That's right. Thank you very
The
much.
title. You are welcome. So we are ready to take your questions, I guess.
So you want the questions could be in a chat box, or you wanted to ask him that?
Let's start from the chat box to have it in order, and then if the person who wrote the question wants to have a short discussion,
okay,
we are here. Okay, come on guys, not only thank you. Ask whatever you want to ask. How do you find your why? Well, to find your why, you kind of use a small child's curiosity and going deeper and deeper by asking why. For example, I want to get into the life insurance business. Why? Because I think that one makes a lot of money. Why do you want the money for? Because I want to buy a nice house. Why do you want to buy a nice house? Because I want to provide to my family a better life. For example, why do you want to provide to your family a better life? Because I want them to feel safe. So we get down to safety. Safety, money brings safety for some people. For some other people, it might mean that this is how they evaluate being significant, or they want to contribute to the world with this money and make charities. So this is a deeper mission for this person. What are my thoughts on the COVID situation? As I said before, this is a situation that none of us had experienced before. So whenever something is met for the first time, it causes fear at the beginning. And my method is to always observe things and not to get panic. So I believe that if we as individuals are responsible and we understand that we have a contribution to that, we will be able to handle it faster. And it's a good opportunity to realize that in life, as an ancient Greek said, that the most sure thing in life is that nothing is sure. So to adapt ourselves with the change, to adapt ourselves with the fact that we need to be flexible. What should be good self-talk? A good self-talk is a talk that help us do more of what we want to focus on what we want to achieve. It's like having a miserable friend next to you, and a friend who is a person who can see opportunities, a person who is optimistic, and sometimes a person we look up to and we say, look, he always gets things. So a good self-talk is a good friend who seems to be confident and says, you know what, even though I have no idea what I'm going to do right now, I'm pretty sure that we will figure it out, and start bringing examples from the past in which you found yourself in difficult situations and you elicited all those good elements you have within you, and you made it, instead of someone else who says, oh my God, what are we going to do now? And are you sure you have no idea what you will do? And I'm not sure you are able to handle that. Forget it. If someone wants to contact me, you will find, this is an answer to a question actually, you will find all the information in my website and my social media. It was a pleasure for me too. I thank you as well. During the current situation, we are facing difficulty to meet clients in person or make them take a decision to invest or buy insurance. Do you have any solution to swiftly change our clients' mindset focus from the current situation to future opportunities? A good method is the method I also use with my mother, if you believe me. Whenever we have a talk on the phone, she always focuses on what's going wrong. And so what I do is I shift the dialogue on the things that go right for her. So if you have a client and who starts complaining or saying, you see that this is the situation, etc., ask them what they are still happy about in their life. Ask them, for example, if they have a family, ask them something about their children, and head the dialogue in a state in which they will become more positive, and they will become more open-minded to discuss something you have to discuss with them. And it's very important during this period to keep the connection with your clients, even though you don't go directly to sell them something. Believe me, this will be more appreciable by them. Just make a phone call, and they will be pleasantly surprised if they think, oh, this is my life insurance agent and he wants to sell me something. And you say, you know what, I thought about you these days, and I just called you to see if you're okay, how things are doing. And don't mention anything about contracts, etc. Just rebuild a connection during this period that is more related in a human-centered basis. This is what people will appreciate during this period, because everything else, if you do it too directly, everything else seems a bit irrelated, and it might be taken in a wrong way. So you care, because what you do actually is caring for people, and this is an opportunity for you to show that. And I'm telling you, I was a person who, whenever an insurance agent called me, I said, oh, I don't want anything. I don't want any of that. But when I started talking at some MDRT events, and I started going around with life insurance agents, and I started listening to the value you provide, and now I have insurance for everything, and I use it also, in some cases I used it for my health, and I saw the value of it. So build relationships with your people, with your clients at first, especially now. This is what they need during this period. They are worried, they feel insecure. Help them feel that they have people to trust. This will make a difference. This is what will be evaluated during this period. Why some people are not showing interest to take life insurance? Because they don't see short-term value for it. That's why they haven't connected in their mind with something that brings them value right now. So they say, okay, it's nice to have, but I have now other needs, I have other obligations which are more urgent. So if you find the arguments to show them that anytime something might become urgent and a life insurance can be for them life-saving, actually, this is how they are going to, let's say, to be convinced and trust you. This is what I did. This is where I understood how much important that is. And I said to myself, okay, I will buy a less pair of shoes. So what? I don't even wear them. But this is what I'm building for my future, for example, which is very important. If I talk about Greece, Greece doesn't have a good pension system, a public pension system. When I was younger, I hadn't realized that this is something that will worry me later, and I want to create a safe future for myself because I really care for safety in my life. And when I understand that this is a way for me to give some money, it's month away that I would spend anyway, but I would spend it in stupid things, really, that I don't miss at all. This is what makes me feel more secure now. And whenever I pay monthly, I'm happy to do so. And it's me, the person who didn't even want to hear anything about life insurances.
I have one question with Valentina. So people start seeing failures. Nowadays, they have been so disappointed. They think that the world ends that particular day itself. So they don't not even trying out of that. What is the option for you? What is the step they have to follow for the way they see failures?
Actually, we come again to the point of choices. If you don't try to do things, if you don't take the initiative to take action because you are afraid that you are going to fail, you have failed already because you don't give yourself any opportunity to change the situation. But if you make the decision to go for it, at least you give yourself the opportunity to change the current situation. Otherwise, inertia, inactivity won't bring you any results. And this is failure from the beginning. This is what people need to understand. Give themselves more options. And what I said before, don't focus on the question why there is no way out, why this is the only dead end I'm facing, why this is not possible to happen. Change the question. Okay, the situation is difficult. How can I handle it? How can I utilize whatever I have? There must be something you have. There were times in my life, because I come from a poor family, I didn't have anything apart from a computer when I could afford it for myself. My parents couldn't afford to buy me a laptop. I had to find my own way, and my own way was to work while I was at the final classes at school, so that I can raise money and buy my laptop. And things like that. And when I started my own business 10 years ago, there were many things missing. And I had a great fear, because I said, okay, I'm going from being an employee, from the safety of an employee, into becoming a businesswoman, an entrepreneur. So how can I do that? I don't have many things, and I'm afraid to rent an office and do this. What if I fail? So I said, how can I do this in a way that I will still feel safe and I will still feel that it's not a high risk? So I decided that I build an online business, and actually this matches very well with my value of being independent in my professional life. So there are always options. The thing is to not to give ourselves all the answers why we are going to fail, but how we are not going to fail. This is the right question. How am I not going to fail? What can I do to make this as safe as possible?
So these on the sales line, on this difficult situation on COVID and other things, would not make able to meet the client directly, and there's a lot of depression with me. Most of the salespeople or insurance are over with this. What kind of advice we can able to change the day-to-day activities? They can able to bring up their stress level, reduce. What could advice you can able to give them?
Well, actually, you don't have to get disappointed because you cannot meet your clients in person. I have worked during this period with real estate agents. What should they say? They need to show houses. Life insurance is something intangible. There are always ways you can do your work through internet. And how can you utilize this period? What can you do to improve your business? Let's say that, okay, there are not so many clients. Okay, you have more time to do what for your business? If now is a period for you to rethink how work is going to be done from now on, because technology is going to be part for all businesses, okay? So it's time for you now to see how you can update your business. What can you do more? For example, I don't know, building a website, improving your knowledge on something. What do you do on social media? I think you had a webinar regarding digital marketing.
Yeah.
What do you do? You have a great tool in your hands. Do you use it? Do you post information for your client that they will say, this is how I chose my own insurance agent? I have two. The first one before MDRT. You know why? Because I saw that he has such a great passion for what he does. He posts very often information, not selling information that are useful for me to know. For example, for my car, that has to do with accidents, for health, for things. And I started reading these posts. I started reading these articles. So what are the things you can do within the situation that will attract new clients to you, attract new leads, that they will pick up the phone and they will call you? There are things you can do, you just don't use them.
Thank you so much. We can take one more question. I think the one more question is available, I think.
Yes. How would you recommend to start a functional how plan? Sometimes you know what you want and what you need to do, but how to start and what to prioritize on this how plan in order to start strong and keep moving forward. If I wanted to cut the story short, I would say you can buy my book, or you can work with me and I can guide you through the steps. Just kidding. But first start from the big plan, and then think about what are the most important steps you need to, the most important milestones you need to walk through to get there. And then walk first of all, walk them backwards from your vision up to now, up to where you are now. And when you get to now, then start walking them again and see if there is an extra milestone that you don't need to put there, or there is something missing. And then start setting deadlines, make a timeline about your plan. How long is it going to take for each milestone to be implemented? But don't be too optimistic and cut time just to say I'm very quick. Think realistically, and then start working on the first step. Focus on that. Forget about the others. Just say to yourself that for example, in 1 month, I want to have done this thing, or in 6 months, I want to be there, and focus on that, and then see what you need to get there, what you already possess, what you might need, and how you will use what you have to get what you need. And sometimes it might be getting more knowledge or something that can be done again by you. It's not something that it's not feasible to happen. Some people are not allowed to connect or Zoom. How to reach them to get an appointment? Jyoti, you want to help me, please answer the question, how they are not allowed? What do you mean?
No, some of the clients,
Yes. Yes.
Some of the clients normally due to the particular situation, they don't allow us to do a WhatsApp calling or Zoom calling because on the situation also they don't allow it. So how can able to reach those kind of clients? That is what's the question.
So right they don't allow you. They don't want you to have a Zoom call or a WhatsApp call.
Yes, yeah.
Do they take phone calls?
I hope so. I hope so. Nowadays, even if you call from life insurance industry, they may often skip that actually.
I think there are ways also how you use Zoom or how you use WhatsApp. I'm also a bit skeptical, and it has to do also with the countries, but I'm a little bit skeptical when it comes to WhatsApp, because sometimes if I don't, for example, have a set appointment, I don't like that someone calls me on WhatsApp because they found my phone somewhere and they want to have a video call, for example. So before you do something, test the waters, ask, don't intrude in someone else's life. Ask, would it be okay if I call you, for example, or how do you have the first contact with this person? Where do you find them? Do you find them online, for example, on, let's say, on LinkedIn, and you want to take this into a call? Ask them, would you be interested in having a phone call with me so that I can give you more information? Would you prefer a Zoom call? Give them the option. Don't say, okay, I will call you, and because people feel that you intrude their freedom, their personal life.
So I think we come to the end of the program. I think it's almost more than a time what we have just put it on that particular thing. And thank all the participate who's coming on this particular Zoom call for with our lovely speaker Valentina, who's been connected to the program. Actually, this is a dream come true. So actually, I've been asking Valentina for so long. We have to do one Zoom call because I've gone through a few of your Zoom webinars in Instagram and Facebook and other thing. but the value what you deliver, it's really need on the people who are there in a stress level around the world. So people, I just want to take the recording of this particular people wants to listen again, and they have to follow the 9 steps. And I think all these worries and all these problems of they are right now facing, I think everything is fixed into the 9 steps, I believe. So really they choose, they impersonally work, they with a self-confident, I think they will be able to overcome the situation. And we hope soon the COVID also get over, and we will used to travel. And I request all the participants, we have like to share Valentina's book link. You can able to download to ebook, or you can able to order through Amazon. It's a wonderful book, and I think you can have more knowledge on things. Moreover, you like to want to have more interaction with Valentina. Always she is available on Facebook. You can able to connect with me, or you can connect with her and directly. You can get a lot of knowledge and other thing, and keep following her for a lot of information, because she deliver. I think these last 1.5 hours, I don't know. I don't feel the time is went off. It's like a racket kind of thing. I think some of them could not take the eyes from the screen. That's the way the trainer should be there. So I'm lucky to have our own company. We have tied with Valentina. We got this particular opportunity. I think it is will be useful for all the members who attend this particular program. Thank you very much, Valentina. For your valuable time we been offered for us to be delivering on such a beautiful program. Dear friends, looking forward for our Zoom webinar and next program will be shared you shortly. Thank you so much. Behalf of ILLC, and I'm thanking Valentina also. Wonderful at that.
Thank you.
We will share you. We will share you the Valentina's details on the website details and other thing, and link of the book soon through Facebook, as well as separate mails also will be sent to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Shakti,
very
good
much.
evening. Shakti. Hello, Shakti.
Yes.
Shakti, Srinivas.
சொல்லுங்க Shini. Yeah.
Can you put the recording of this entire session?
Yes. We already recording these conversations with us. End of the program, we will be sharing your mail IDs, all the videos.
Thank you very much. Because of some technical issues, I could not able to.
No problem, sir. With the PPT, we will be sharing back all the details of that.
Thank you very much, Shakti.
Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Great day. Bye bye.
Thank you, Valentina. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye bye.